Welcome to the Difficult Question Podcast. I'm Bob Howard. The Difficult Question is a podcast about opinions, and it's where every opinion matters. It's where we have some of the most healthiest conversations around some of the most complex topics. Today's topic is complex. Today's topic is, can money buy you happiness? Now, we know that you have an opinion on this topic. So listen up, listen to our guests, see what they think, and see if they agree with what you think. And maybe next time you come on the Difficult Question and let us hear your opinion. Good afternoon and welcome to the Difficult Question. I am Bob Howard. I am the host of the Difficult Question podcast. The Difficult Question is a podcast about opinions, and it's where opinions matter. And we want to take a look at how opinions shape our world. And so we do this by asking a difficult question. And then we ask our guests to talk about what they feel and how they feel about that question. Our question for today is a simple one, but at the same time, it can be complex. Our question for today is, can money buy happiness? Does that sound like an easy question?
No, I would say so.
No. Okay. All right. So first and foremost, I want to just have you guys introduce yourselves. So I'm going to call on you and please just introduce yourself. Mr. and Mrs. Sulak.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Sulak. This is my wife, Lisa Sulak. I'm 43 years old. She's much younger than I am. Not by a lot. She's 1 year younger than I am. But a little bit about myself. I grew up in a suburb of Detroit, Dearborn, Michigan, and went to Catholic school and was raised in a Christian household and upbringing.
Okay, Justin.
Sure. All right. My name is Emiliana. This is my husband, Justin. We're both originally from Michigan, but we live in St. Louis now. And what do we do? Justin teaches at Washington University in St. Louis, and I run a small business online.
Okay. Thank you very much. Chris.
What's up, y'all? My name is So Easy. Actual name is Chris. That's what Bob Howard called me that. So if you're wondering, most people know me as So Easy. I'm a hip-hop artist, and I'm ready to have that talk that we normally have, but on a different level. This is going to be fun.
Okay. Brandon?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brandon. Second time coming around, happy to be here. And I tell you, I'm the type of guy, rather than define myself by my occupation or my job title, I just define myself as the man that I am. And I'm just a man with an opinion. So excited to get this going.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Brandon. So one of the first things we always do is a quick answer. So I'm going to ask you, can money buy you happiness? And you just give me a quick answer. Chris, can money buy you happiness?
Nope.
Okay. Justin, can money buy you happiness?
I'm going to say no also. I'm going on with Chris.
Okay. Steve?
Yes and no, and I'll explain why later. It's a vague question.
All right, Lisa.
Absolutely not.
All right, Emiliana.
I'm going to say yes, but my yes has a condition to it.
Okay, yes with a condition. Okay, so first things first, let's go around. So let's talk about it. Can money buy you happiness? Anyone can start. What do you guys think? Can money buy you happiness?
I gotta know something first. How much money are we talking about?
Okay.
There's a difference between money and money. Are you talking like LeBron James money? Or are you talking about I won't have to struggle to, keep the heat on and pay the DTE bill and
that's a good point.
Phone bills coming the same week as the rent's due and cell phone bill, and I got to pay the car note this week. What kind of money? This
is enough money to do whatever you want to do with it. This is enough money to where you don't ever have to worry about money. So you can kind of like money of your dreams kind of thing.
You're talking financial freedom.
Let me hop in there. Let me hop on in there. So here's what I say. All right. I say yes, but I say this very, very speculatively. And this is why I say that. Because for me, happiness looks like financial freedom, the ability to, do whatever I want to do with my life, to have the control over that. Most of us who work 9 to 5s, a lot of us never find out what life is really about because we spend most of our lives at these jobs. But on the flip side, I've never been financially free. Okay. So I don't know what that other side looks like, but I know what more options at my disposal, the chances are greater. So I say, yes, I think it could.
Yeah, but I'm asking you, wait. Let me address that. Can money buy you happiness?
I say yes.
I heard a lot, but I want to know, can money buy you happiness?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I speculate. It could. If I had to go one side or the other, I would say yes.
It could.
All right,
ahead,
let me
Justin.
ask you a question then.
Yeah.
Thus far, with the things money has bought you, that has in some way brought you some happiness, did the money bring you the happiness, or did the way you felt about what you got, money or no money, bring you the happiness?
I don't even know what that means, Chris. You have to say.
I mean, let's say your favorite car was was an Aston Martin. Let's just say you got that Aston Martin. Just put it in your perspective of your life, something that you bought that you were happy about.
Hold on. Because you're talking material stuff now. Aston Martin don't do nothing for me. A Lamborghini don't do nothing.
That's why I said put it in the perspective of your life. Something that you
spent whoa.
That made
if
you
happy. If you had an Aston Martin, you wouldn't feel better?
Me personally, it's a vehicle. It gets me from point A to point B.
That's why I asked the question the way I did. Let me chime in. Let me get a couple words. I want him to think of what makes.
Hold on, Chris. Let's Justin say something.
I think we need to take a step back because, are we even talking about the same thing? What do we mean by happiness?
That's my condition. Yes, money can buy you happiness because happiness is eternal. Happiness is temporary and fickle. And I can be happy because I ate a good meal. What happens when I get hungry?
You need something new. When we was kids, we used to walk to the gas station 3 times a day. You would find all type of change you wanted to get your snack. And that 25 cents you spent on that pack of knowledge, that'd make you real happy until they was gone and you needed some more.
Exactly.
That's right. But if you had unlimited finances, you could go back and get more.
And then
if you had unlimited finances, that means
you know how people are. You get tired of stuff. Once it becomes a norm, it's a diminishing value to you.
Yeah, let me hear from the Sulaks. What do you guys think?
Well, I would say that is true. The little bit of money I've experienced, I got happy when I purchased something. Like say I just got Lisa a Big. And it was cool for about a month, right? That's her new Expedition. I got her. And it was cool riding around for about a month or so. But then after a while, it's just another truck, right? What is happiness? It's a feeling, right, of pleasure.
So if I put you in a hoopty from your Expedition, how are you going to feel?
I wouldn't like it. But that feeling of happiness, you got to remember that is that lasting? It's going to come and go. So you're going to always be searching for the next big item. You know what? I'm tired of this Expedition. If I could afford one, I'm going to bump me up to a Lincoln Navigator. After that, that'd be cool for a couple months, but then I'm going to want something else too.
Important. Go ahead, Steve. My bad.
Another important factor is, and I look at this, and that's why I said a little bit about my background, but my dad, he grew up real poor in the Great Depression where they didn't have food in the house and stuff like that. But he made a good life getting, one of the highest hourly jobs in the country at the time. And that was, if you ever heard of it, Rouge Steel Company, UAW worker at Ford Steel Division and Rouge Steel. And they were making big money back in the day. So he brought up his standard of living from,
Was he happier? Was he a happier person?
He was happier. But my point being, what do you have to do for that money and your sacrifice? Because someone like myself that had to work 60, 70 hours a week, midnights in a steel mill, 16 hours a day, operating a crane, risk getting burnt up in explosions every day. There's a price to pay for that versus someone who just, I would be happier if someone would just.
But do you feel better driving your Expedition than if you were being a hoopty?
Yes.
Exactly. So, Mrs. Sulak, my question would be to you as far as how do you like your new Expedition?
I love it.
Right. And it doesn't make you happier?
No.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make me happier. I mean, like, I think like we've all established happiness is a feeling, you know, but it's fleeting. It's not permanent. Of course, having financial freedom and being comfortable enough to take care of your family without worries can make you happy. But even the wealthiest people are not exempt from other feelings.
Yeah, so what you're telling me is Jay-Z is not perpetually happy. You think he's got some sadness going on?
You could never answer that, Dad. You could never answer that because you would have to sit down and speak with Jay-Z. I can't speculate on whether Jay-Z is happy or not. It comes from what he defines as happiness. I don't know what he defines as happiness. I can't answer.
I'd say this. Every one of your favorite rappers got a song telling you how money ain't it, how money didn't solve all their problems, how money didn't make them happy. Every single one of your favorite rappers got a song like that. I just say that.
As they're going to the store, they're putting 24 karat diamonds on their forehead. As they're doing that, as they're buying chains, as they're buying expensive cars. So
yes, what does that mean to me? What would that? You always need more.
It's never enough. That indicates some dissatisfaction. To me, it's like we live in a very consumerist culture. You always are looking for that next thing. And if you have to go and get 24 karat gold, whatever, and the next week you're at the same store buying more, that indicates a level of dissatisfaction. Or like we said earlier, you get something, it's exciting, and then it becomes an expectation. It becomes a baseline expectation that thing will be in your life. So whatever you want, it has to rise above that baseline expectation.
That's so. Let me interject there. About the best house you ever had, you would feel real good about it until they build a bigger house than yours on the same corner. Yeah.
And then you have the money. Right there, you have the money to go buy that though. Now, but I got the money. I have the money. I see the next house. I can. What is it? The Burj Khalifa. I can go build it now because I have that much money. So, Chris, you were about to say something.
Do everything to satisfy you. Donald Trump wouldn't have ran for president if his money satisfied him. He would have sat at home with all the money he had. He wouldn't have done that. So Joe Biden wouldn't have ran for president. All the money he has.
Do you think Donald Trump, if Donald Trump was broke today, if Donald Trump, like Trading Places, that movie, if Donald Trump was broke today, do you think he would be sad? Of course. You don't think he feels better today with money?
Is that the end?
Hold on.
Of course. Let's hear from Chris. Chris has something to say.
Liliana said, and Justin said something important, and I want to add on to that because this is actually ties into what I was talking about with Brandon. This is why I said, when I said Aston Martin, I said, but put it in perspective of what makes you happy. Because everybody says and agrees so far that happiness is really what you define it as. So I wanted him to kind of tie it to something that he's emotionally connected to. Well, Aston Martin doesn't really matter. What matters is what he defines as happiness. For him, it could be as simple as he had the money to go buy the ice cream to have a date with his daughter that day and just take her out and have some fun. It could be whatever. So point that I'm making is when I say happiness can't buy you, money can't buy you happiness, is it's not really the money that people are connected to. Money is merely an object that
Tell me what I can't buy with happiness. You tell me what I can't buy with happiness. I'm sorry. You tell me what I can't buy if I had enough money.
Love.
Happiness. Literally happiness. So you just asked me before we started the podcast. You said you look like down. Are you straight? I'm like, yeah, I was great. I was just chilling. I really was great. I'm like always happy, and that I don't just be spending money all day.
But you didn't look like it.
Like I'm happy with the way.
I was just asking because you didn't look like it. But the thing is tell me what you said. Love. I heard love. That's one of the first ones that comes out. But you know what happened? People love Jay-Z. People love Kanye West. People love actors and actresses and people with money. They worship them. They idolize them and it's a lot to do with money.
That's a different type of love.
That's a different type of love.
That's not really a true, genuine
that's love. Those people those people they'll wash your feet for you. I mean, these people are crazy. How many people? Donald Trump. How many? Those people stormed the Capitol because of their love of Donald Trump. They stormed the Capitol, right? Because of their love of Donald Trump.
Love, though.
I don't think
is that true love. And then you're getting into the definition of love. I would say that's not love at all. That's them becoming obsessed with this image. And, you know, and
what is love? So this love we're talking about, this love is something you care about. What is love? Something you care about. These people love Donald Trump, and they would be willing to give their right arm for him. Or it could be an artist, a record artist, and it has. If these people didn't have the money that they had, they wouldn't be there. So give me
Question.
Yes, sir.
All right, we talking about pop culture figures and stuff like that. Big news just came out yesterday. Kim Kardashian officially divorced Kanye West, right? Kanye West is worth over $1 billion. Right. Kanye West made $100-something million in the last year or whatever, right? Do you think Kanye West, all that money, do you think he's happy right now with his family being torn apart, not going to be able to see his kids as often as he wants and all that? Do you think he's happy right now just because he got $100-something million in the bank?
No,
I think that
wealthy people are not exempt from feeling sorrow, you know, going through divorce, infidelity, dealing with death, health issues. You could be the wealthiest person in the world and get cancer.
Yes, you can. But you also could get the best care.
It could.
You also could get the best care. Magic Johnson, when HIV was killing people every day, Magic Johnson's still here. I'm like, whoa.
Could money fix the damage, the hurt that came from him destroying his marriage, doing the stuff that ended up with him getting sick?
Justin, he's still with his wife today. He's still with his wife today.
He's still with his wife.
I mean, cancer or not, what do you value at that point? Whatever life throws at you, happiness comes from how you perceive whatever it is you want to perceive. Like, you can't just be like, oh, life sucks, so I'm going to just be sad. Trust me, I know. I done been in high levels of poverty before. I had to realize I can't just sit here just wallowing in this junk, and I have to find happiness in every aspect of life, which is why the Sulaks say death, cancer, this, and that. You're not exempt from it. So at that point, that comes from within. What is it you are willing to
tell me what I can't buy? I'm not hearing it. Tell me what I can't buy. I'm not hearing it. What can I not buy? What can I not buy? Tell me what I can't buy. Somebody tell me what I can't buy. I think I could buy love. I think I could buy love.
I'm going to be quiet. Brandon, one thing that I'm going to be quiet, just because it's connected to what Chris is saying. This year in my adult life, I make the least amount of money in the past year that I have in any year in my adult life so far. And yet I am happier than any other year that I've ever been in my adult life. That's one thing that I'll say right now. And that's how I know that money isn't the thing that's providing happiness and all that.
So let me drop a 2.5 million on you. How you gonna feel, Jess?
I mean, it's like, fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, it would be cool. It's like, all right, what do I do? If anything, that might make me less happy. It would stress me out. I got all this money to be responsible for. Exactly. I got to figure something out.
So I tell you what.
More than I want.
So I'll take you don't have to have nothing. Give it to me. I'll take it all. Because it's gonna make me feel a little bit better. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for 5 minutes. And then you will be right back to being how you are. You're not happy. You are happy. I ain't want that to come off like negative.
Yeah, I'm glad the mic cut out that time. So anyway,
See,
go ahead.
That goes to what you do with the money, though, because again, that comes from within inside. Because Justin is making a good point. If I had $2.5 million, I'm not just about to let me just buy the whole world. There's a lot of people you could help with that. And for me, seeing other people happy, that makes me happy. Like, okay, great. I got a bunch of money, but I'm already straight. Who can I bless with that? So
I like that. I like that line of thinking. I like that line of thinking. But let me ask you, if I gave you $2.5 million, can you bless more people?
Definitely. That goes without saying.
Would that make you feel much better? Somebody tell me what money can't buy you. Somebody tell me what money. Somebody tell me. I haven't heard nothing that I can't buy yet.
It would make me happier.
I could buy girls. I could buy cars. I could buy houses. I could buy. Entourage. Tell me what I can't buy. Somehow this kind of turned into me against y'all, but it's okay.
How is it relevant to us when we telling you our definition of happiness is not tied to materialism? You keep talking about I could buy this, I can buy that. Everybody in the room telling you that, you know, happiness is defined by fulfillment. It's defined by other things. It's defined by love. You know what I'm saying?
So
I think
I'm saying money can buy you that fulfillment. I'm saying money can buy you that fulfillment.
That's why I would flip the question on. I will flip the question on you at that point, because you're saying money can buy you fulfillment. All of us have had money at some point in time. Money, we live in capitalist America. That's the easiest thing to get. It don't matter the level of money you got. Money is the easiest thing to get. It's the system we live in. So what have you bought in your life that has made you just so much happier that lasted? I'm talking about to this day. It's like, I bought this and I just got the utmost amount of glee. Name me one thing.
So, everything, man, everything. This microphone, I love this microphone. That's my microphone. I love that microphone. Guess what? The boom arm that's holding the microphone, I love that boom arm. That's mine. I've had a good time with my stuff. I mean, you know, I've had equipment over the years. I've had tons of equipment, and I love buying equipment. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Let her go.
All right. I'm gonna say that the things you're talking about, and like I think an important distinction is that money can buy you resources that make it easier to experience fulfilling things. So money can buy you the microphone so that you can do this podcast and we can all enjoy talking to each other and connect with each other based on whatever the question is. Money could buy me healthier food and gym equipment for my home so that I can feel healthier and stronger and physically well. And that contributes to like my overall well-being, my overall feeling of contentment, my overall health. Money can buy those resources that help you do those things, that help you experience fulfillment. But is it the money that's fulfilling, or is it like the emotional states from these other things? And ultimately also like the most important, I think, fulfillments that we get are from connections with ourselves. Like if it is like our body feeling healthy, or connections with others. And that can't really be replaced by money.
That's why I was about to ask, what would you do? How would you feel?
So she agreed with me earlier. Now she just flipped on me. Did you see that? Now listen, the thing is,
because you start talking about how much you love the dang mic. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying that everything that you and anything that you need, I'm just challenging you, really. It's not my opinion. I'm just challenging you.
I'm saying make the drop, and I'm willing to give it a try, because I don't know. I've never experienced that kind of money. But to her point,
have you ever been broke before?
Opportunity. What about the opportunity?
Have you ever been broke before? Have you ever had like nothing?
No, and that's why I said a little bit about my background. But my wife, she grew up in a pretty bad situation. Okay.
Yeah.
I grew up in Southwest Detroit. Both of my parents were addicts and alcoholics. We lived paycheck to paycheck. My mom didn't work. My dad did. He brought home roughly $500 a week. $40, $50 a week on groceries. Not to mention the physical and emotional abuse that my parents gave each other, in front of me and my sister. I've broken up many physical altercations between them before. The name calling, the swearing, the smoking drugs in front of us. I've seen a lot, and I went to public school. I didn't have opportunity. We drove the cheapest hoopties, as you call it.
But
I broke the cycle in a sense. I could have kept it going in my life and lived that way, but I chose not to. That would not have made me happy to live like that.
So she agrees with me. So she's saying that she's got between her and her husband, they've upped their lives, and they've upped their lives by making more money. So really, She's agreeing with me.
Money. She just talked about a lot of stuff that you don't need a single dollar to do. She talked about avoiding drugs and all this pain and stuff. That comes from the soul, and that's what I mean. It has nothing to do with money.
So statistically,
break a generation of drugs in your family, that probably is so fulfilling to her because it's like, hey, I'm not y'all. I brought my children in the next generation something better, and that's what it's about. That is a value to her. Technically, that's invaluable. It's not dollars.
Let me ask you something.
Ms. Sulak said, Howard, and I always, I asked her about this because her dad was a truck driver until he lost his license through drunk driving and all that. But he made decent money. $500 a week when she grew up in the 80s was good money. But did you hear what she said they would spend on the kids and groceries? About $40 a week. They would ration that. The rest was going to things like crack cocaine and stuff like that. Well, at this time, and I know he's not here with us to ask him, but was he happy?
He probably was because that was his focus.
And temporary, you could buy drugs to make you happy, but how long is that happiness going to last? Those drugs will wear off an hour or two.
It sounds like Ms. Sulak is happy.
If you want lasting happiness, you're going to have to look at other things, and that's why I say yes and no, because you're not going to find that in material things. And that's why I said my background being a Christian, you have to look at things like God, and to have eternal happiness, my belief is looking at the Bible and what he says about, earthly treasures and fool's gold.
So I agree with that.
Lasting treasures, which are in heaven.
I agree with that. I do agree with that, but I'm going to challenge you anyway. All right. I do agree with that, but I'm going to challenge you anyway. So the sinner, I'm talking about the ultimate sinner. The drug dealers who have never went to church, right? They kill the murderers, right? So if they had a bunch of money, would they be happy? Do you think so are they happy?
Temporarily, highs and lows, just like buying any material object.
Maybe the murdering makes them happy. We don't know.
Yeah, and that's why, because
I don't want to meet them.
Well, Lisa just said right there, I don't think, even because we talk about, happiness is all personal. It's your personal definition and all that. I think that eventually falls short. You know what I'm saying? Because it can't be a personal definition, because someone's definition of happiness could be hurting other people, could be selling drugs, could be Hitler committing genocide or something like that. So you do, like Steve said, have to look to some objective definition of happiness that's beyond you, that's beyond us, that we aspire to. It isn't just something we make up for ourselves. The things we make up for ourselves always fall short.
So I want to
ourselves and say that this is the answer. It's never actually the answer.
Right. Okay. So I want to actually go try to get a little bit deeper real quick and try to be a little bit more introspective. Right. So let me ask you. We'll start with the Sulaks. Let me ask you, why do you think the way that you do? Why do you think you have that? Where you so basically it sounds like, Steve, you're saying it's temporary, and it's temporary, but where do you think that foundation comes from?
I wish I could share this on the screen, but if you could read that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's read it.
Yeah, let's read it.
It says, I have never bought anything with money. So this is coming from a working man's perspective like myself that has to work 12 hours, 16 hours. As a matter of fact, when we're done with this, I got to go work till probably about 1 a.m. tonight, working 7 days a week and things like that, earning your money. And that's the difference. But it says, I have never bought anything.
Steve, if I dropped that 2.5 on you, you wouldn't have to do that.
And I'll take it. Everything I have was bought with pieces of my time I sold for my life to a job that will never have paid me enough when my time is up.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And that's what I was getting at, right? Because I was broke last year, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Through pandemic, got out the military, broke as I ever been in my life. Never been there, always been stable, always been comfortable for the most part. Now I'm in a position, Justin said he's making the least. I got another polar opposite. I mean, I'm making the most I ever made in my life. And I'll tell you what, I spent that entire pandemic complaining and this and that. I would give anything to trade, to go back and be able to spend that time and enjoy myself and enjoy my wife and enjoy my daughter, as opposed to trading my time for money and going to a job that I can't stand every day. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, you're saying that money bought you happiness. You're saying that. But I'm again, Brandon. I want to go back up to Ms. Sulak up here. And
hold on. We got to address that properly because he didn't say that at all. He literally said in the time when he was the most broke, he would actually trade that money that he was making, which wasn't enough. So he wasn't happy because it wasn't enough, and he would trade it for something more valuable, which is time with his family that he loves. That doesn't cost a dollar to love on.
He realized the illusion of happiness that money provides. That he didn't actually need the money to experience what and he out the fallacy of it.
He don't look happier to you. Does Brandon look happy to you right now?
Yes, but that's the point that he's making. That don't got nothing to do with
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I want to get to. He just looks happier to me. I just want to get to. I want to see why. Why do you think the way that you do? What makes you? I mean, where do you think that comes from? So, Ms. Sulak, really quickly, what do you think?
Like I said, I believe money doesn't buy you happiness. I don't know where that comes from. Like I said, I've experienced living with nothing, and I've experienced living comfortable. Regardless of what I went through, I was a happy child. I was happy. I mean, my parents loved me the best way that they could, and we never went without, sort of. I always had clothes and shelter, but I was still a happy child, even though I didn't have anything. I mean, some of my best memories are being a kid, playing with all the kids in the neighborhood, playing kickball, softball. Okay. When you're wealthy, you acquire a whole set of problems. People won't look at you the same.
You wouldn't want some of those problems? Look at me differently. As I get into the Lamborghini that I had today, and then tomorrow I'm going to get into the Rolls Royce, but then the next day I'm going to fly down in my jet to Miami. I'm just saying. And
that's my point, Howard, and I think that's why Christ refers to it as fool's gold. Do you really think, are we foolish enough to think that 2.5 million will last? And do we feel that happiness will last? When 2.5 mil will be gone and the happiness will be gone, probably for most of us within a year. Maybe about a month or two, because I'm buying some nice things. I'm going to enjoy it while I got it.
When you get down to a mil, we're going to give you another 2.5. It's just going to keep coming to you.
Can I chime in?
Yes.
To go off of that, to keep with the biblical thing too, if we want to stay with that, Jesus himself got offered more than that 2.5 mil. In the desert, Satan offered him the whole world. You could have it all if you bow down to me. And he said, nope, none of that means nothing. Serving the Father, serving God, that's the most meaningful thing. And that's what I bow down to. And that's where true peace, true joy, true everything comes from. I'll also say, I'm asking myself the question, why do I think the way that I think? I think if you look around at the world, what you're repeating is the lie that leads people to buy the house that they can't afford and go into debt, to buy the new car that they can't afford and go into debt, to do all of this stuff, to say you can't be truly happy until you have this stuff that the rich people have, that the 1% has, that the elites in society have. You can't be happy unless you live like us. And that's an absolute lie. I'm a Christian.
But Justin, have you ever went and stayed in a cheap hotel in a good hotel? And how did you feel?
That's the experience, though. My thing is, too, I've lived a life. I feel like all young people, especially young black people, the lies that we get sold about how we supposed to live and stuff like that, right? Where I've wanted to get those things, trying to find a way to get nice clothes, try to get all of this, and I've always felt empty every single time. I've always felt stupid every single time I wasted a bunch of money on those things. Because at least for me, that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't really connect.
So 2.5 mil today, and then on Monday I drop another 2.5 on you. I guarantee you won't have no problems. I'm just saying.
Well, I will be happy. I will be like, man, God is good. God provided for me. I'm happy that I know God is with me.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
2.5 million. And then I would be like, dang, now I'm responsible for 2.5 million. And I got a whole lot more problems now.
Yeah. And then until Monday comes and I give you another 2.5.
It's not that 2.5 is valueless. It's that, like, the money itself is the resource, right? But the money isn't the end. Like, if I'm sitting with $2.5 million in my bank account, am I happy because of the number, or am I happy because of the security that gives me, that I know if something goes wrong, if somebody has, a health crisis, if something goes wrong with my house and I have to move, it gives me security knowing that I can provide those other resources for myself. It's not the 2.5 alone. It's what it can do in terms of other resources or other experiences. And like Brandon was saying, like, having the money maybe gives you the freedom to not have to spend as much time away from your family. So it's not that the money is valueless or that we wouldn't appreciate the money, but it's what the money can like open up. Those other experiences are where the emotion actually comes from.
So because she had a very, very complex point there, we're going to up hers to 250 million, right? Okay.
It don't matter what you up it to. She already made it clear. That ain't what she connected.
Small point too. When we're talking about money, you're talking about luxury, you're talking about comfort and all of that. I think this is a whole other episode. What is the point of life? Is the point of life to just be as happy as you want, do what thou wilt, do whatever you want to do, and all of that? You know what I'm saying? I think that's another offshoot question that's kind of coming off of this. That could be another episode.
It can. So Chris, I want to try to get to the bottom of it, but $1 billion. If we gave you $1 billion, right? First of all, think about, would that make you? Would you be happier? And if it makes you happier or not happier, why do you think you think? What makes you think how you think?
Okay, first off, I wouldn't even want $1 billion. I don't need that kind of money. There's plenty of people who can do that. Money can be spread to. And I still have enough for 2-3 lifetimes with a whole bill.
That doesn't sound rational.
I don't even want that.
If you wouldn't want $1 billion,
tell me why do one person, need $1 billion, and somehow, some way in the world where the money is quite literally printed, there are people starving. What can I do with $1 billion that can stop starvation? What can I do with $1 billion that can help somebody right in the neighborhood?
If I gave you $1 billion, you can feed as many people as you want. You can feed the people. I'm going to give you $1 billion. You feed the people.
Those people can have their own finances and their own knowledge.
Yeah, but you can give it to them.
If I got $1 billion, I can provide a lot of opportunities.
So you have a very philosophical outlook. So what makes you think like that? What gives you that? What makes you think like that?
I don't know. It's just always the way I've been. I don't value material things. Like they fun, but it's not. I've never been, especially not at this age. I'm more in tune with the way God would have us to be. Like, I'll give you a great example. The most American problem is racism. Everybody think racism is just the cornerstone of every single thing in the world. To me, it's not. The problem is not racism. It's love. Lack of love. It's the key to everything. That's the reason why people are not eating right now. Love is the issue. So what makes me think the way I think is God, I guess you would say. Like, even when you sent me the episode to the first podcast, what did I tell you? I said, I'm proud of you for doing that. That means something to me. Like, you played a role in raising me, and now you're doing something important to you. I want you to know that I'm proud of what you're doing, and that is something that you can be emotionally connected to more than $1 I give you any day, because it's like, dang, I really did. I was there for Chris doing this and that or whatever, and now it's going full circle. You're like, you proud of me or something. You done told me you proud of me for stuff. Now I'm flipping it, and I'm here for you. That means way more than
I'm getting anyway. The thing is, the thing is, that is
literally asking me what's wrong with you, because I kept saying all this, like, I guess, weird stuff or whatever. But I just really was just happy to be there.
No, Chris,
get married and do what was important to him. That's valuable to me. You can't trade that.
No,
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. So again, Brandon, I want to ask you, what makes you think? First of all, do you think money can buy you happiness?
I think money can open up opportunities for me to, number one, not have to work a job anymore. So I can go off and discover, what happiness is. I can't say personally in my life I've ever been in a state where I'm just completely happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm always on the go, and I'm always trying to get out from under wage slavery. You know what I'm saying? That's always been my whole deal. So until then, the marathon continues, like Nipsey.
Where does it come from? Where does that come from? Where do you think that comes from? You as an individual. Everybody kind of has, you guys, again, it's probably my fault that you guys are all challenging me because I brought it up. But what happens is, I would like to know, where do you think that comes from? Is it individual? Is it like Chris? Chris has had a wonderful influence on our lives, right? So where does it come from? I'm just trying to figure, where does it all, like Steve, best partner I've had work, and we run a good training department. We have a really, really good time, fun doing it. So I would ask, where does it come from? He influences me every day. He and his family influence me. So I would ask you, where does that come from?
You asking that to me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that comes from my father. That comes from my father. When I grew up, from you. I mean, that's you always had ambition. You always had aspirations. You had Bentleys on the wall. He had palm trees and islands, and we was always taught that if we want to get something, you do that work and you go get that. You know what I'm saying? So the way my mind works is I never settle. I never just say, okay, 9 to 5 is cool. I'll do this. I always know there's more. You know what I'm saying? And that's me. That's very, very intrinsic for me. I never can sleep. I never can rest because if I'm not at the level I want to be at financially, I ain't there yet. I got work to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's a gift and a curse because that thing will push you and it'll eat you up when you feel like you ain't made it there yet. And you question if you ever will sometimes. But for me, I mean, it's rooted in childhood. It is.
Okay. All right. So yes, ma'am.
You're going to feel when you achieve that.
Say that one more time, Lisa. I'm sorry.
What do you think you're going to feel?
Good question.
When you achieve what you want to achieve? Will you be able to rest finally? Do you think?
That's a fantastic question. I don't know. I don't know.
That's the struggle with money. We don't know, and
right. But the thing, I know that this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? This right. It's no way. And we've been tricked from birth that, trade time for money. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's true.
One income, you know what I'm saying? Getting up, going to work every day, that ain't gonna do it for me. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that, I got to go the other way and try my hardest to provide options for myself, through financial gains and try to figure out what happiness looks like. I don't even know what it looks like.
Right.
So that's actually a good another good podcast. What is happiness?
So I don't think any of us really know until you make the drop. And once we get now I notice it increasing, going up into the billions. So my opinions might change now that we're in the billions. But one thing I thought of is to me, since I worked in the plant and it was hard work, I know we've made some good money. I see all the money in your background. Maybe your dad must have worked for Rouge Steel too, but probably a pipe fitter. But would I feel differently if I earned the money doing something I love versus you just giving it to me? Because I know I'm thinking of selling time, and we all are, because that's how I had to struggle to get my money. I started off, my dad wasn't giving us no handouts. You know what? He made me get my first job as a janitor, cleaning toilets and emptying waste baskets and stuff when I was 12 years old. And I would get paid $50 a week because he wanted me to earn my money and know the value of $1. And then I got into roofing and landscaping all when I was in high school. But if I was doing something I love, like playing football, I wasn't good enough, obviously, to make that kind of money. But if I loved playing football. If I played in the NFL and I had this millions of dollars coming in, I'm sure I would think differently. And I think that's part of it too, is not only our background, where we come from, but where we're currently at will give us a different perspective on our outlook on money.
Steve, when whoever, I don't know who the supervisor was, when they dropped that 50 on you, how did you feel?
I was still mad. I didn't like cleaning the toilets, man. Yeah. But I said, this is...
that 50 didn't make you feel better?
No, I said, I got to find something better than this. This sucks. Yeah, it sucked.
Okay. All right. So, we actually had a really, really good conversation. This has been, I'm going to say, the best podcast so far to date. I will like to thank the Sulaks. Please come back and join us again. Love to have you back. I would say thank you for being a part of our family. This is some of our family, and I thank you. Once you in, you in. You know, you're part of us, and we appreciate it. So thank you for joining us, Justin and Brandon. As always, thank you for the support, Chris. You put one on me today, man. So when I get the billion, you in, sir. So. I will say thank you guys for joining us. I hope you had a good time. I hope you shared the podcast. I think we have good things coming from it. And I just hope that you had a good conversation today. Would you guys think it was a good conversation?
Absolutely, yeah.
I would say so, yes.
Right.
Okay, all right. So thank you. That's going to be it. And please don't forget, you can be a guest on The Difficult Question by dropping us an email at guest@thedifficultquestion.com.